Dear students, in this session we will see how to create a constructor in Java and how to use the constructor in the programs. Okay, so first, why we need constructor? So whenever you create an object in Java, we need to initialize the data members in the class. So it is generally a tedious work to initialize the data members in the class whenever you create an object. So Java allows the object to initialize themselves when they are created. So that can be done with the concept called as constructor. So by using the constructor, Java allows the object to initialize them automatically. So what is meant by constructor? So constructor will initialize the objects whenever it is created. And when the constructor is called, it will be called automatically when the object is created and before the new keyword completes. You already know that whenever you create an object, you give class name, object name equal to new class name. So if you give a new keyword, then only it will initialize the object to create an allocated memory. So the constructor will be called automatically whenever you create an object and before the new keyword completes. The constructor will be invoked every time an object is created to initialize its value. Okay, so whenever you create a constructor, we have to remember three things. The first one is we have to create the constructor within the class. That is the constructor, whatever you are creating, it should be reside within the same class. Then the next point, the constructor name is same as the class name. And the third point, the constructor does not have any return type. So these three things you have to remember whenever you create a constructor for the class. So the constructor should reside in the class and the constructor name is same as the class name and the constructor does not have any return type. So now we will see how the constructors are playing in the Java program and what are the different constructors you can create in a Java program. So basically we will have default constructor, empty constructor and then augmented constructor and copy constructor. So now we will see these things in a coding format. So how the default constructor is working, how you can create the empty constructor and how you can create the parameterized constructor and how you can overload the constructor and followed by how you can clone one object to another object by using the copy constructor. So now we are in the Eclipse environment. We will see how to create constructor for a class. Okay. So now I am going to create two classes. So I am going to create a new class file. So that class file I am going to create with box class. Okay. So I don't have a void main for that. Just I create a class. So for that class I declare three members: int, length and height and then followed by depth. Okay, followed by depth. So three integer members I have declared for the box class. And now I am going to create a main class. Okay, so create a main class. I am going to create a class called as sample, which should have a public static void main. So I have created. So the first step is I want to create an object. So box b1 is equal to new box. So as you already know that whenever the object is created, the Java automatically initialize or automatically invoke the constructor to initialize the data members available in the object. Okay. So now we didn't write any concept of constructor. So what happens? The Java automatically calls the default constructor. Java calls the default constructor. What this default constructor will do? The default constructor initialize the data members to the default values. Default values. The default constructor initialize the data members the default value. Okay. So now we have three data members: length, height, depth. All the threes are integer data type. So now when you call this object, it is initializing the constructor that is called as default constructor. So we know that it is initializing with the default values. So now we'll just check what is the value this default constructor is initializing. Okay, so b1 dot length, then I do some concatenation operation, then b1 dot height, then do the concatenation operation, then b1 dot depth. Okay, so now we will see, execute and see what the constructor is initializing, the default constructor is initializing to these data members. So when we run this, okay, we are getting the output. So the default values for the data members are initialized, because integer, the default value is 0. That's why all the three data member, the default constructor is initializing with the default value of 0. Okay. So now if you are not creating any constructor, so it is calling the default constructor. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to create a constructor, and this constructor, the user created constructor, will be invoked whenever you create an object. So we already know the three rules. The first rule, the constructor should reside inside the class itself. So if I want to create a constructor for the box class to initialize the data members of the box class, the constructor should reside within the same class. Then the second rule, constructor name should be same as the class name. Then the third rule, the constructor does not have any return type. Okay, and I will make this constructor as public. So I have created a constructor, and now I am going to initialize the values of the data members inside the constructor. So I am going to use with length is equal to, height is equal to, and depth is equal to 10. Okay, so this is a chain of assignment. So 10 will be assigned to depth, then it will be assigned to height. So all the three data members now initialized to 10. Okay, so now we have returned a user defined constructor to initialize all the data members to be initialized as 10. So now whenever you create this object, now whenever I am creating the object now my default constructor is not called. Okay, now my default constructor is not called. Instead of that, whatever constructor I created, that is the empty constructor I created, which will initialize all my values to 10. So that constructor only now invoked. So you want to check it, now execute it. So now we are initializing all the data members with 10. So if you don't have any constructor, that time default constructor will be called. If you have returned any constructor with overriding, so that time the default constructor is not called. Instead of that, the constructor returned inside your class will be called. Okay. The next thing, the constructors can be overloaded. Okay. So now I want to create an one argument constructor. Okay. So box of 50. Okay. Then again, after creating, I want to just display all the values. So b2 dot length, b2 dot height, and b2 dot depth. So if I go here, it is showing me the error. The constructor box with one argument is undefined, because already we have created a constructor with an empty argument. So we are not having any constructor with one argument. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to create a constructor with one argument. Okay, we are going to create the constructor with one argument, and by using the constructor I am going to initialize all the data members of my class. So depth is equal to h. So now what happens, we have overloaded the constructor with argument. Okay, overloaded the constructor with argument, or we created the argumented constructor, or it is a parameterized constructor. So we have an empty constructor, and now we have a one argument constructor. So now this class, it is initialized with the empty constructor, and this class now, this object is initialized with the constructor with one argument. So now we run it. So all the data members are initialized with 50. So again I am going to create another one object, and that object I want to call the constructor with 3 argument. Okay, you want to call the constructor with 3 argument. So after creating the object, you want to check whether the constructor initialize the data members. So b3.length, b3.height and b3.depth. So now it is again showing an error. The constructor box with 3 input argument is undefined. So now I am going to create a constructor. So public box int length comma int height comma int depth. Then I am initializing length is equal to length. Then height is equal to height. Then depth is equal to depth. Okay. So depth is equal to depth. So now I am getting an error. The thing is that this assignment to a variable has no effect. The meaning that my data members also having the same name and the local variable whatever I am passing to my constructor also having a same name. Okay. So there is a name conflict between my data member and the local variable. So in order to avoid that, you can use the keyword called as this. So this keyword represents the current instance of the class. So now this length, height, depth or belongs to the current instance of the class box. But this variable's length, height and depth are called as the local variables. Okay, so these are the local variables and these are the current instance of a class. So to differentiate between these two naming collisions, we are using this keyword. So this keyword represents this variable is the current instance of the class box. So now we will save it and go here. So now the error has gone. So now we run it. So now it is invoking the constructor with the 3 argument. So it is initializing the values with 100, 200 and 300. Okay. So next one we are going to see is the copy constructor. Okay. So copy constructor is mainly used to clone the object. So you want to copy one object of box class into another object of box class. So like this. So I want to create box B4 is equal to new box of B3. Okay. So you want to initialize the box 4 through the object box 3. So in order to do that, you have to use with the copy constructor. Okay. So copy constructor, so it is like cloning of an object. So you have to copy one object to the another object. So whenever this constructor is called, automatically again it is telling the constructor box with the argument of box type is undefined. So immediately you go to box class, then create another one constructor, public box. So now the argument is again box. Okay. So box. So I am asking it is a temporary object. So now for my current object, for the length property, I am assigning the value of the temporary object whatever I pass through. Okay. So here it is length. So you see here, so now I am assigning the box 1 properties, box 4's property with the help of box 3 property. So whatever I am referring with this keyword, that will be object B4. Whatever I am accessing with the temp, it is for object B3. Okay. So now show this dot height. The height of the box 4 is I am getting from height of the box 3. Then the depth of the box 4 I am getting from the depth of the box 3. So this keyword is the current instance box 4. I am initializing through the properties of box 3. So this is called as copy constructor. So through one object you are initializing the another object. Okay. So now we come here. and we try to execute it. Okay, good. So all your data members of B3 is now assigned to the object B4. So now I have a question. Suppose you are changing the value of the box 4. You are changing the value of the box 4. This change will reflect in box 3 because you are copying the object of B3 into object B4. So now if I make any changes in box 4, whether it will reflect in box 3. Okay, we want to check it. So I will print B3's length, and also I will print B4 length. Okay, so if I make any changes in box 4, whether it will be reflected in B3. So I will run and check. Okay, the changes will not be reflected back because we are copying the object's content to the another object, but the memory location is created in two different memory locations. So only the data members' values are copied, not the object's reference. So if the changes made in one object not reflected in another object. Okay, changes made in one object not reflected. So if this case box B5 equal to B4, okay, box B5 equal to B4. So this time what happens if I try to change the value and print it? If I try to change the value and print, okay, so I want to print what is the B5 value and B4 value. So this time if I try to print it, so the changes is reflected. The reason is, so here the object reference is copied. Object reference is copied. So changes made in one object reflect in another object. I think you be clear. So here we are using the copy constructor. So one object's content only copied to the another object, not the reference of the object. So changes made in one object not reflected in the another object. But here we are not using any new keyword to allocate a memory. So both the objects point to the same memory location. Both are referring to the same memory location. So changes made in one object is reflected in the another object. So now I think you are all familiar with how to use constructor in Java. Thank you.